Hello, everybody. Now I'm going to talk to you about writing a two-column script. And let's do play from the start. Okay, there we go. Here's the PowerPoint. Script writing for broadcast. More specifically, this is about writing a two-column script, which is going to be a part of your assignment for this video editing that we're about to do. You have to have a script before you begin. Why write a script? By knowing what you're looking for before you begin a production or a video, you'll be better organized and better prepared. Others involved in your productions can give comments or advice on things they would like to see added or removed. This is very important. You got to have a plan going in. You can't just go at it and just kind of improvise as you go along. You have to have a plan going into your script, to your video, I should say. Why write a script? Here's another reason, timing. Timing is everything in broadcast, and by writing a script, you'll help yourself meet strict timing parameters that will be set for you. Your time for this particular project is going to be 45 seconds to a minute, just a short video. All right, two-column script. What is a two-column script? Well, it's a script that's used when you want to plan out exactly how a video will appear on screen. You got to use your imagination and write it down and kind of visualize using the two-column script. Different elements are identified on the left and right side of the screen. It's two columns, as it says, two-column script. There are a variety of different abbreviations that you should begin to familiar yourself with. These are the things that you will use within your two-column script, and understand that you need to know these abbreviations and their definitions, because you're going to have to use them for this assignment. You're going to be tested on these abbreviations, and you are also going to be using these abbreviations throughout the year as you write two-column scripts for videos that you're going to produce. Okay, here are some common abbreviations. VO, it stands for voiceover. That's when a voice is recorded and then edited into the final sequence. It's the voice that you're hearing that's going along with the video. Nat sound, or natural sound, it's the sound that is recorded from the camera. Whatever you hear in the background, like if there's traffic going by, or if there's a game being played, or if there's a crowd making a lot of noise. I know that didn't happen much any day in COVID-19 era, but you understand what I'm saying. It's just the sound that the camera picks up in the background. Sound effects. Sound effects are sounds other than the music or voiceover. Sometimes you'll have music in the background, and you will for this particular assignment, and you may or may not have a voiceover. That'll be your choice. Talk more about that later. But sound effects are different things that you add to it. Like if you were going to add the sound of a drum roll or cymbals crashing or an explosion, anything that's pre-produced and added in is a sound effect, and the abbreviation is SFX. More common abbreviations. WS stands for wide shot. Now, what is a wide shot? A wide shot is when the camera is showing a wide or establishing shot of the location that you're filming. You can see that this is a wide shot here because it's showing the subject right here in the middle. And we can tell where the subject is because it's wide. We can tell that she is at Cortland Playroom Preschool Incorporated. That's where this little girl is in this wide shot, or WS. Medium shot. The abbreviation is MS. The camera is either physically moved or zoomed into about the midsection of the person being filmed. All right, this is the same shot, but we've got her zoomed in from about her midsection up. This is a medium shot. We can still see some of the background, but we can see most of her body in this shot. CU stands for close-up. The camera is either physically moved or zoomed into a close shot of the person's face. See, we're primarily looking at her face in this shot. So this is a close-up. Okay, extreme close-up. That's when the camera is zoomed in to a portion of a person's face. Usually it's their eyes or their mouth. As you can see, this is an extreme close-up. And something I want you to notice too about this is that if it's the same shot, you kind of lose pixels and it gets a little bit blurry as you get closer in. But if you zoom from the beginning of your shot and set it up that way, it won't be as bad. Extreme close-up, ECU. LS is long shot. The camera is placed at a distance from the focal point. Often this shot will demonstrate, oops, sorry about that. Often this shot will demonstrate depth. So you see the camera is here at a distance from the focal point. The focal point is the ice cream cone and the Ferris wheel back here in the distance. That's a long shot. It's long as in far away. OTS stands for over the shoulder. The camera is placed behind the head and shoulders of one of the subjects to show a conversation between two people. You often see this being used in an interview type situation where you see the back of somebody's head kind of in the corner, and then you see the shot of the other person's face, the person who's being interviewed. You might do it when you have dialogue between people too, just to show that it's two people having a conversation. POV stands for point of view. The camera takes the place of the person's eyes to make the viewers feel as if they are experiencing the camera action. This one shows a person at this race actually watching. Now, the point of view that would be interesting to me in this is if you had a camera actually being held by one of the people in the race and we saw what it looked like to be going through the race. GFX stands for graphic. This can be labeled to identify full screen, lower third, a picture, bugs, or other type of graphic. Now, bugs is just a little tiny graphic that stays on the screen the whole time. But go back. Sorry about that. But a graphics are just usually words that are included on the page, or some kind of logo or image or something like that in addition to the video you're shooting. CGI stands for computer generated image. Another way to label a graphic, but you could see this in place of graphics in the industry. CGI. Okay, writing two-column scripts. The column or the center line would go right here, and you'll see another example here in just a minute, but the center line would go right here. Oh gosh, this thing is so sensitive. Sorry about that. The center line would go right here between these two. On the left side, what do you see in that part? You see video descriptions, abbreviations, and special instructions. You see graphic formatting and wording. You can also include directions on how you want your on-screen talent to act or position themselves. So basically the left side is what the viewer sees, a description of what the viewer sees. On the right side, we're going to see a description of what the viewer is going to hear in your video. Audio script should be exact and have every word that you want to be included. Music instructions, fade up, continue, fade out, etc. Sound effects should be on this side as well. So basically what you're seeing is here being described, and what they're hearing at the same time is being described right here on the same lines. You'll see how that works here in just a minute. Okay, here's an example of a two-column script. Imagine that there's a line right here separating these columns. All right, WS stands for wide shot. So we see the wide shot of the outside of a high school. We hear nat sound, natural sound of traffic. So imagine that in your mind. Wide shot of the outside of a high school, think of Hillcrest maybe, and natural sound of traffic going by. Then we see a close-up. It switches to a close-up, CU. You see the school sign. And then we hear a voiceover as we hear the school sign. This is happening simultaneously. Student is saying, quote, each day that students come to our high school, there is an inherited risk in the traffic they have to cross to enter the school. Okay, while this sound is going on, this voiceover right here, we see that it switches to a long shot, LS, of the school in the distance with lots of traffic in the foreground. So hopefully you can envision that this is what you're seeing and this is what you're hearing at the same time. And as you're writing a two-column script, you're planning these things out. Okay, writing a two-column script is different than most other media in journalism. Script writing for television can be conversational. It would be difficult watching a show where the talent read a newspaper article or a website. Basically, it's saying you don't want to just have a camera shot of somebody reading something. You want to make it interesting, and that's why you have the two-column script, to make it interesting and more conversational. Conversational script writing. Find a and this is something you can do for practice if you want to on how you would write a two-column script. Find a newspaper or online article and read it. Then after you've read it, just explain the article. It says to the class, but you don't have to do that. And again, this is just for you to practice on your own if you want to. You should still include all the facts and people included in the article, but you want it to be conversational, just your summary of what you read about. Okay, here is a really good example of a two-column script. Let's see if we can interpret it and visualize it in our minds. Okay, it starts out with the video side, a wide shot of the cafeteria. While we see that wide shot of the cafeteria, the music is fading up. Then we see a close-up of fingers pressing buttons on the cash register. We hear the natural sound of the fingers pressing the buttons, the beep, 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 and so forth. Then it cuts to hands scanning a barcode. Natural sound of the beep as the barcode is being scanned. Then it cuts to a close-up of a hand passing over money or change. Then we hear the natural sound of the person handing the money to the other person. Then it switches to a medium shot of two students waiting in line. We hear the voiceover say, "Tomorrow is Thursday, so that can only mean one thing." Then we see a close-up of pizza sitting on a plate. And we hear the voiceover of the student saying, "It's Pizza Thursday, 2 slices for only $1. Then we see a graphic of pizza 2 for $1 that goes on right here while this voiceover is happening as well. Then we see a wide shot, finally, of students sitting at a table eating pizza, and the music fades out. Okay? You probably could imagine all that in your mind, but this person planned this out beautifully, and I'm sure the video looks great. I wish I had the example of this video, but I don't. But hopefully you can see how a 2-column script works there. All right. Not going to do that one. Not going to worry about that. Let's see. What else do we have here that I wanted to show you? Well, that's it. That's all that I have for you for specifics that you need to know about writing a 2-column script. Now, you will be writing a 2-column script for your assignment that's coming up. You can refer to this PowerPoint to help you out, but we'll have more specifics in the assignment coming up. Thanks for joining us, and have a great day.